Since September, Candace Owens has been on a warpath. Her ultimate goal, the destruction of Turning Point USA, and possibly the destruction of the organized right. Candace has accused everyone from Charlie Kirk to pretty much every conservative influencer of being owned by Israel, of being a part of conspiracies to kill Charlie, of being a part of XYZ. I mean, you name it, she said it. Someone finally had enough. On last night's episode of Timcast IRL, Tim Pool, while talking about how his studio was shot at, he went off a little bit, and rightly so. It's about time someone does it. I just, excuse me a second, the blood light's too bright. I'm still trying to figure out the lighting. I'm still trying to figure it out. Tim Pool lost it. He went off, and rightly so. I think it's about time someone went off because Candace has been just saying whatever for September, October, November, so 3 months now. She has been saying the most ridiculous, off-the-wall shit, accusing everyone under the sun of murdering Charlie Kirk, up to and including his own wife. She is delusional. Finally, someone said enough is enough, and yeah, it took Tim Pool getting his studio shot at to say people like Candace are part of the problem. People like Candace are not helping. Finally, someone is calling out the right for the nonsense, because we call out the left for the nonsense all the time. We call out the bullshit that they, calling Republicans Nazis and all that. But no one's calling out Candace Owens for sitting there saying all the ridiculous shit she's been saying for the past 3 months. So, we're gonna watch. Also, I talked about the shooting. I think it's better to hear it from the person who owns the property. We'll hear his. It's like 20 or so minutes, and we'll stop and talk about it as we go. But I just think that I want to hear what he has to say about the shooting, and then just hearing him go off about Candace and what a piece of shit she is wonderful, because I can't be the only one saying it, Also, I don't know who this dude is.
Milo
Gary GG33. Not a fan of this guy. He's kind of an arrogant douche, and he just blatantly told Shane Cashman not to pray, which really annoyed me. So not a big fan of you, Gary. I'm okay with saying that. Anybody who tells someone to denounce Jesus is not cool with me. So, just putting that out there. It's not in it's at the end. Maybe I'll try to find it when they go to Super Chats. He just blatantly tells Shane Cashman not to pray, and I think he says you look ridiculous or something like that. But yeah, fuck that guy.
Stresses me out, but I do enjoy his company.
You sure those shots weren't fired at my...
Or click the link below for your free discovery call with Tax Network USA. Don't let the IRS be the first to act. And my friends, go to castbrew.com. We got pool water. 105 cases left. That's it. You want to get it? Now's your chance. I'm drinking pool water right now, in fact. Look at this. Crisp, delishing pool water. Refreshing. What did I say? Depressing?
Defreshing.
Quite defreshing. So, my friends, smash that like button. Share the show with everyone, It's been taxing. It has been. Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more, we have Gary the Numbers Guy.
How are we doing today, brother?
Not well.
I see. Well, I mean, Milo just left, so makes sense.
Milo stresses me out, but I do enjoy his company.
You sure those shots weren't fired at Milo?
Oh, Milo wasn't here.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't here. We had left for the night. We had wrapped the show up, though. Who are you? What do you do?
I do numerology and astrology. Basically, before I came along, Most people who did this line of work were either women or homosexual men.
I just want to point out, anyone that wears sunglasses inside is kind of a douche.
And I kind of changed that a little bit when it comes down.
Only a little bit. So you are somewhat gay.
No. I'm definitely been married for 21 years, got kids.
Okay.
We don't do that Milo stuff here. But when it comes down to it, what you have to understand
he's
is
just shitting
I
on
believe this is
Milo.
a virtual reality we live in. And I
Not a
believe
big fan of
numerology,
Milo,
astrology,
but like,
cheat
why you
codes.
just shitting
And
on
as the show
Milo?
goes on, I'll try to express my thoughts to your audience.
It is fun stuff, to be completely honest. It is fun stuff. So it should be fun. Thanks for hanging out. Shane is hanging out.
What's up? Shane, host of Inverted World Live. I just wanted to share this really quick. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. It's from 2 Timothy 1:7. Alad.
Wow, Shane, that was powerful. Thanks for saying that. Good evening, everybody. I am Alad Eliyahu, the White House correspondent here at Timcast. I'm not going to Phil yet because we have Ian in the studio with us as well.
What up? Hi, everybody. And Shane, nice one. Bravery is the name of the game, my man.
House.
I love you, Ian. Hello, everybody. My name is Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and a counter-revolutionary. Let's get into it.
Well, we're just going to start with the, what happened over the weekend. And I talked about it a bit this morning. I'm interested to hear what the crew thinks. But, back in October, I was in Phoenix. I went to Turning Point to do the show with the Turning Point crew and the Charlie Kirk Show crew. We had received a threat that I don't know if we described at the time in detail because we often refrain from exposing some of the finer details because it will make your security worse. It will increase the threat and the risk. And the threat was to come and shoot up the place. We were in contact with the FBI. Look, like Cash and Dan have been on the show. Okay, I know these guys, right? And we got in touch directly with some great people at the FBI who said that they were working on this, and they were in touch with our crew. And they believed that it was credible because it fit a pattern of other shootings based on the information that was conveyed in it. And so...
Just once again, the FBI not even doing their job.
I believe they're currently tracking that down. I believe it's I don't know what the deal is going on with it, but I think it's an open case maybe. And it's not the only one we've received. We've received a lot of veiled threats and general death threats. And then Saturday between midnight and 1 a.m., a vehicle slowly approaching the property opens fire. Then it drives past our driveway to where our studio is. 2 more shots are fired. And, the first thing everybody did was just, try to rationalize. So the first thing that happens, our security guards report shots fired. And, it's a crazy thing to hear. And we were out. We had left the show. We were going to hang out, right? We go do our stuff. We get drinks or play poker or something like that. And so I head back, and I'm like, what's going on? What happened? And then, like, some car was lurking around, and it fired a shot or something like that. So, we have increased security. We don't exactly know what's happening at this time, but we've got armed guards, right? So in the morning, we reviewed security footage, and it's 3 clear gunshots. We don't know why, right? We could ignore everything and just say, hey, you know what? Sometimes out in the country, people Yosemite Sam, you know what I mean? They take their guns and they go, pow, pow, pow. But that's never happened before, and we've been here for 4 years.
Also, that doesn't really happen at 1 a.m. unless it's like some drunk dude just fucking pulling a Jim Bob and just letting a couple rounds fly. I really just I don't think a lot of people do that anymore.
And considering the threats, considering the political climate we're in, we can look at it a bunch of different ways. I think it was targeted. I think based on the threats that we had received, I think, and escalated quite a bit in recent history in the past couple of weeks, that it was, my thoughts are intimidation. It's like that old story where they said, a guy hears a gunshot in his neighborhood and he runs out into his backyard and he sees an old man firing a gun into the ground. And he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, keeping the property taxes down. So the idea is just the shot itself can disrupt an area. It can cause serious problems with, it can cause problems with our guests. So what would this be? If I'm going to do the math, and it's just like a random country shooting for no reason right in front of our studio makes no sense. Intimidation makes the most sense. It's not, I wouldn't call it impossible, but I'll try to be vague on security. But it's difficult to come here with weapons because we have a security perimeter. We have armed guards. So intimidation seems to make the most sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was leaning towards. It's basically a hey, shut up. That's all this was a hey, shut up. But the next hey, shut up, might come as a 30-06 to the neck. You never know.
And I think that's what the attempt was. Yeah. And so, here we are. This is the climate we are in. There's no amount of security that can protect you from drive-by shootings. There's no amount of security. So we can have people here and, they can report our bullet-ridden corpses should something truly dark happen. But it's not like they're going to stop someone from pulling off more serious attacks. So we have to have a discussion, and we've had a discussion earlier today with the company about how we move forward. And, I'd argue that it looks bleak, but I don't think it's reflective of what we do here. I think it's reflective of the greater political climate as to why it looks bleak. I'll throw it to the crew. Just curious what you guys think about everything that's going on, and based on...
I'm just curious, do any liberals have these problems?
No.
Do any Democrats have these problems? No. Only the conservatives have problems. We've got people killed. We got people targeted. I mean...
Well, to be fair, Josh Shapiro's house was firebombed.
I will also say Nancy Pelosi's home was raided by a guy with a hammer.
With a hammer? I thought that was a...
I don't know that Nancy Pelosi's house was raided by a guy with a hammer, but there was the whole attack on Paul Pelosi. I don't know. That whole thing seemed kind of like there were some details missing. Josh Shapiro's mansion was attacked, though. That was a thing that happened. That's like the only notable thing in the past couple of years that I can think of that has happened to a Democrat. This violence, danger, and rhetoric is very one-sided.
Of somebody.
It's still violence. I don't know if it was a lover's quarrel, but
overall,
there is also
it's
violence.
in California.
There is violence to. I'm sure AOC gets a ton of threats.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not, to your point. I mean, you're right. But at the end of the day, like the actual attacks. I mean, whether it be the attempts on Donald Trump's life, what happened to Charlie Kirk, Steve Scalise a few years back, the shooting at the congressional baseball game, that was intended to target Republicans. Generally, the attacks that lately have actually resulted in maimings and loss of life, they've all been attacks against Republicans, against conservatives. And whether or not you think it was actually politically motivated, was targeted, or if it was just people that knew that they don't like Tim Pool or the stuff that we do here, so they went to try to send a message, that doesn't matter really, because at the end of the day, the next one might actually be someone that's trying to get a person, whether or not they're targeting Tim or just anyone here, that's something that's a real tangible threat now.
What's one of the first things you guys told me when I came here? No talk of political violence whatsoever. We need the leftists to start doing the same thing.
Well, we said don't make threats.
Yeah, don't make threats. Don't say, but
don't talk about violence.
Well, obviously, but when I'm basically...
So he makes a good point there. As much as I dislike the guy, he makes a good point. The right is constantly saying, "Hey, don't make threats to people. Don't say terrible things about people." In the video I did yesterday, Wendigoon even was like, "Hey, this guy's awful, but don't this guy's wrong, but don't tell him he's terrible. Just let it go." On the right, we're always, turn the other cheek, turn the other cheek, turn the other... There's only two cheeks, my guy. You can only turn the cheek so many times before you have to stand up for yourself. I mean, turn the other cheek was never meant to be a let someone murder you. It was meant to be, if someone crosses you one time, let it go. If someone continues to cross you, if someone continues to try to kill you, defend yourself. And we never do that. And we always tell people, hey, don't mention these things. Don't say these things. The left doesn't do that. The left doesn't care. The left wants to see you dead.
trying to tell you is the Democrats will never tell that to their followers.
No,
They'll
they
never tell them slow down. Like when Charlie Kirk died, I was disgusted with all the people who were celebrating.
They either celebrated or they said that's what Charlie gets for speaking these hateful things.
Yeah,
you know?
That's the price of being.
What more could he have expected? I suppose.
And it's something that even even people in Congress. I think specifically when it comes to Charlie and the assassination of Charlie Kirk, people in positions of power, they generally had the right. They sent the right message. There weren't people in Congress. There weren't notable Democrats that were saying, "Oh, this is good." But the rank and file were celebrating, first of all. And then if you look back to the summer of love, the summer of riots in 2020, there were plenty of people in Congress egging on the rioters, saying things like, "We need to be out in the streets. We need more of it." You had Kamala Harris was shilling a website that was paying for the legal defense of these people. So to your point, absolutely, there needs to be Democrats that are actually standing up and saying this is something that we disavow, and they need to do it more often, because I think that the people on the ground, they
To Phil's point, Kamala Harris said this should be done. There should be more of this. And if you get arrested, we'll bail you out. Don't worry about it.
they hear a totally different message than the one that the major players are playing.
I believe this is more of a symptom of the times than anything else. We live in an era of political assassinations. People feel as though they feel emboldened to take action into their own hands, and they feel as though they're justified in taking that action. It isn't only shots on the President Trump that we saw. In Japan, there was a very effective, I hate to use that word, political assassination of Shinzo Abe. I listened to Tim's show earlier today where he put it extremely succinct, but it was so morbid. It was the most effective political assassination, I think, that of our generation of Charlie Kirk. Because what happened following the death of Charlie Kirk, the right is in complete disarray.
Yeah. And
I think these people are emboldened by things like that.
And Turning Point has become the perpetrator of the crime in which they were the victim. That is probably one of the most terrifying things out of all of this. Charlie Kirk built an organization that registered young people to vote, convinced young people to support a populist, a pro-American nationalist, all these, this big coalition. He is murdered. By all means, ask questions about by who, whatever you want to think. And today, a large portion of people believe Turning Point, the victim, is actually the perpetrator. That's how terrifying the political climate is.
And there's a big group of people that believe that because of the psychotic cunt that is Candace Owens.
Left doesn't have this degree of self-sabotage. And so if you think about, not only did the left get everything they could have dreamed of from the murder of Charlie Kirk. And again, I don't know what Robinson's political affiliation is. He's got a transferee boyfriend. We'll see what the evidence shows.
So you believe the FBI story?
I'm so, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Oh, what the FBI says, Tara Robinson did all that. So
do you believe that? I think that the evidence we have seen thus far, Occam's razor, suggests Robinson is the likely culprit. We will see what happens in the trial when evidence is presented, but there's literally no other story. Just a bunch of fucking retards on the internet saying stupid shit. And what that does is the organization that helped get Donald Trump elected, which needs to persist. You don't got to be a fan of it, but it certainly will help get individual congressional candidates elected and stop Democrats from launching new committees and putting more people in prison like Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro. Instead, it's being gutted by fucking psychopaths telling people to pull their donations. So when this organization burns to the ground, or whatever the fuck happens to it, maybe they're fine. The organization that's rallying young people, causing a shift in the political leanings of a generation for the first time in history, is now in dire straits. Their leader and founder murdered, and prominent pieces of human trash are trying to destroy it. It's fucking evil. So you know what? When someone pulls in front of my property and fires on it several times, I'm sitting here looking at these vile pieces of shit and thinking to myself, for what purpose will I stick my neck out if this is what happens after Charlie Kirk is killed?
And right there, Tim makes a wonderful point. When you're someone the size of Tim Pool, Like, Tim Pool is huge compared to even a lot of other prominent conservatives. Tim Pool is huge in the podcast scene. So when Tim says, I'm sticking my neck out here saying the things that you're too afraid to say so that lunatics can come to my properties and try to kill me, why am I going to keep doing that? I totally understand.
Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down, and she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property, and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who try to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy. And it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie. She loved Charlie. And she is burning everything down that he built.
Okay, can I make a suggestion here? Is it possible that Candace Owens was in love with Charlie Kirk, and Candace Owens could not have Charlie Kirk, so she is destroying everything that Candace Owens made. Or, I'm sorry, that Charlie Kirk made. Candace is destroying everything that Charlie built because she couldn't have him. And now she wants to destroy everything. And in the process, she's just wrecking the whole right movement.
Because she is evil. She is evil. And I'll say it again. This conservative movement is fractured. It's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending in the other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history. And thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them. I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this shit. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on. Such fucking pathetic bullshit. And I get people saying, Tim, thank you so much for talking about it. I don't care. I'm not doing a favor for anybody. I'm not doing this to benefit anybody. Nobody's paying me. There's no fucking Russia. There's no fucking Israel. There's just me sticking my neck out and then risking dying for what? A bunch of cowards that don't want to stand up to protect themselves? People like fucking Candace Owens?
I couldn't believe that she put you in the.
All right, so I think you get the point. I think you understand. I'm just happy that someone else is calling these people out, because I've been saying for how long these Republicans are spineless, worthless cowards. I can't stand any of them. I mean, Tim goes on for a minute because he's pissed, rightfully so. I haven't had bullets fired at any of my properties, mostly because I'm too poor to own my own properties. I rent this place, so you'll never find me, motherfuckers. I don't know, maybe you will. I don't fucking know. I digress. Don't come find me, because I keep that thing on me and I'm not afraid to use it. But I get Tim's point. Why do I want to stand up? Why do I want to put my neck out for a bunch of people that are too big of pussies to say something as simple as men can't be women? Why do I want to put my neck out for you? You're a bitch. You're a loser. Grow a spine. I don't know. I get it. I get where Tim's coming from because it irks me, it pisses me off, and I hate seeing it happen to people like Tim, who Tim's willing to stand up and tell the truth, and they're going to try to kill him. Candace is over here playing crazy games, and she doesn't have to worry about her security. It's bullshit. Anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to talk about that for a minute. So I was happy to see somebody else lose their shit a little bit over this stuff because I lose my shit about it pretty frequently. So that's all I got. I'll see you later.